this is a really good question.
Yeah.
Because I had an agent.
Yeah.
I had a literary agent, and a foreign agent before, obviously.
Yeah.
And when the self-publishing started to take off, and we're buddies, and she's fabulous, so I was like, I don't need one anymore. So I was like, thanks, it's been awesome. I'm gonna go forth. And she was like, go forth and do your thing. And for me, there was two reasons why I ended up. I have a different agent now, but there was two things that happened. Was one, when all those books hit the New York Times at once, and all the publishers, like every agent and publisher, like in the world, was like calling and emailing, and I was like, well, and I knew the only thing I would even consider was a print-only deal, and that it would have to be a massive print-only deal, because I understand that, for a publisher, the amount of money that they give you for the advance determines how much support there is.
Sure.
And anybody who tells you differently, whatever, right? It's just, it's not true.
Yeah.
So I knew that, and I was like, should that day come? And so the man who's my agent, I sat down with him, and he had previously been an agent of another one of my writing friends, and she said, oh, he's really good at this, this negotiation and this kind of stuff. And I sat down with him, and I said, I actually don't, really need an agent or want an agent or anything, but I said, should the situation arise in which I'm actually getting offers that suit me, would you negotiate the deals for me? And he laughed and said, sure. That afternoon, I called him and said, well, we have our first offer. The other reason why you need an agent potentially is if you do decide that you want to do some foreign licensing. I actually do a combination of foreign licensing and translation. And I make my decisions based on the size of the foreign market, the ease of finding translators in it, how expensive it is to translate, and how good the offer is from that territory. So when I signed on with my foreign agent, I was like, I am going to be your most nightmare client. I'm really sorry, because instead of just taking a foreign deal, I'm going to have to look at every foreign deal.
I'm exactly like that.
Yeah, so those are the reasons you would, but you don't need an agent to do stuff. So my good friend Barbara Freethy, who we gave a talk last night, and we've done some other things, and she sold 4 million independent ebooks, and she's up here on the, and she's so wise, and she says such wise things, and one of her main things she always says is, you have to do more than one book, you have to commit. You have to commit. So what I would say is, you've got your job and you're writing, and you're writing anyway, right? Because you've been writing all along, and you've been trying to get agents, and you've been trying to get book deals and all of that stuff. So write your books, get them edited. You have to do that, get them out, try to get a good cover on it, put it out, and then do not worry about it, and write your next book. Go through the same cycle, make sure it's great, do that, put it up, do not worry about it, write your next book. I would say until you have about 4 or 5 really in the market, you can't start really building yourself in any kind of way. Because, you want to be able to do stuff like maybe put the first book free in the series, maybe do 24-hour sales for that book, 99 cents, stuff like that, stuff where you can start to get visibility. But see, there's no point in that kind of visibility until you have other things to sell through in your catalog. Right? And the number one biggest mistake that I see authors make, and I've seen it over and over for the past 4 years, and I'm always like, you watch it and you're just like, and if I don't know the person, I can't say anything. I'm not going to send them an email like, hi, it's Bella Andre, I have some thoughts about your career. I'm not going to do that because that's just horrible. So is they put out one book, or they put out a couple of books, and they have success. They hit a pocket. Everything goes right with that book. And they spend the next year just promoting that book, and they do not write the next one. And it has taken down every single one of those people. They were not able to turn their overnight success into continuing success. And Barbara says one other great thing, which I always love. She's been in the business a long time, and she'll say, you know what? You can have one-hit wonders. I want to see you do it with 10 books. I want to see you do it with 25 books. I want to see you go out there and continue to be a great author and make a great career. And I really think that's it for me, is, it's the long haul. So You know, it feels like a sprint, but it's a marathon, you know, so. I do think the audio market is a budding one. In fact, I will say with the foreign markets, I'm excited about foreign audio. That's where I'm looking next.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's like all things where you have to really like do your research. So you have to understand which markets are big ones. So okay, first figure that stuff out. Which are the big markets? What should the size of an offer look like if you're going to work with a publisher? How much do translators cost in each territory? It's totally different. If it's 5 cents in Spain, it's 12 cents in Germany per word. You know, I remember I went and got a quote from a translator in Denmark. You know, where I like love Denmark. Okay, I'm practically like moving there. So I was like, yeah, so they have like not that many people who live there, but I'm going to translate just because I love them. And I think I got a quote for 18 cents a word. And I came back to the translator and I was like, you do know that no one will ever hire you for this. And they said, so sorry, but our cost of living is so crazy here. That, you know, if you're going to hire us for translation, and I just said I will never justify that. So that's a territory where I said to my foreign rights agent, I'm like, I will take an offer in Denmark because I can guarantee you I'm never going to translate into that. But there are translation consortiums starting up. They're seeing that there is a whole budding market, and I think probably in 2 years from now it's going to be an entire subset where it'll be so obvious. You guys will be like, oh yeah, I just hire these amazing translation groups to do it, and I'm going to make the joke again about how I was making fire with sticks, you know? So just give it 2 years.
Thank you to all of us for attending. Thank you again, Bella, for this.
You're welcome.
You've been inspiring to all of us, obviously. And again, if you want to catch up with all the events that we have been having here on the Author HQ, just visit our blog, kobowritinglife.com. Thank you very much.
Thanks, you guys.
Thank you.